morning everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to attempt to create a garden flamingo. Alright everyone, so lately I have been crazy about flamingos and I decided that I wanted to try and create one. Now I had been shopping and I almost gave in and purchased a few of them that I saw early on in the season when they first started coming out in the stores and some on Amazon. But they're pretty expensive, so it took me a while to decide that I really want one. So yesterday I went to go buy some supplies that I needed to create my own flamingo. And in the process of doing so, I ended up seeing one already made in the store, and it happened to be at Hobby Lobby. And I have it right here, and here she is. She's very pretty. She's got her little web feet on the bottom. It's a nice little stand. And then she's got these beautiful pink gems inside. The only thing about her that I didn't like is the color. Well, I do like the color, but I really want it to be a hot pink flamingo. So I did some little investigating on her, and I found out that these little parts here in the front that are holding these little plastic gems inside, they're actually kind of flexible, and I can push them forward and pull out these little gems. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be pulling those out, and I'm actually going to spray paint the body. I'm going to cover the beak, hopefully not have to paint that over again, and then I'm going to also cover the legs and just spray paint her thighs, body, and the neck and the head, and then I can just repaint her eye. So what do you think? It was a $50 item and I got it for half off, so I got paid $25, and I thought that was a really good deal. But I still want to make my flamingo. I have already gotten all my supplies, so let me show you what I've got to create that. The first thing I found was a little canister. It's just a simple little canister. It does have a lid, but I think that part's going to be useful for my project. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to put it together. Alright, so I need something for the head, and I found this little 4-pack also there at the Dollar Tree. These little food saver cups. I'm going to use one of these for the head, and then I can form the beak here. I also wanted to use some foil to shape and create feathers and things like that. I keep wanting to say leaves, you guys. But anyway, I got some foil, so I got a couple of rolls of some foil. But I also grabbed these tin type of pans. They're a package of 2. And I really like that because it's a little bit thicker foil or tin. I figured I might need some duct tape, so I grabbed some of that. So some duct tape, masking tape, some good tape. You're going to need some of that. It is from Krylon. It is a matte hot pink right there. Also, for the neck of my flamingo, I needed something flexible. I was trying to find some rubber hosing, or some like from water fountains, that type of hose. So maybe if you can find something like that, you can use that. So I did find these little rockets, little finger shooters are called, and they have this foam on them. So I've already taken one apart. So I've taken off the little rubber band here, and let's get this off of here. And these little yellow parts off of it. So I figured I could hot glue them, end to end, as many as I need. So I grabbed 2 packages because they each have 2, and I thought that would be long enough. So I'm going to use this for the neck, but in order to, have it be flexible, I've got some wire here. This is a pretty thick wire. It's pretty good for shaping and the form that I want. So I'm going to push that through these and try to create the neck with that. Okay. I also have some plastic bags here, as you can see, just a bunch of them. I may need these as fillers. I'm not really sure. I'm going to be using my E6000, so I bought a fresh tube of that, and I bought myself some more glue sticks. And then I'm going to need some tools, and I do have my wire cutters here. I have some scissors to cut the foil. I do also have some metal shears to cut metal, but I understand that cutting foil, these are dull, and cutting foil sharpens your scissors, so I'm going to try that. I do have a Sharpie, I do have my glue gun, and then I've got a little crochet stick. Alright everyone, I think that's all the supplies and the tools that I'm going to need. If there's anything else, of course, I'll mention it as we go along, so I think it's time to get to crafting. Alright, so my first challenge is to make the neck, and I've already prepared 2 of these. I wanted to make sure that it does work. So again, I just took out this part here, and then this rubber band type of thing. Pull it and just cut as much of it as you can, and then just kind of dig in there. Try to get a hole pressed through the bits that are in there, and if you can pull some of that out, awesome. It's going to be a little hard to do that. I'm just letting you know you could actually even use your scissors to maybe do a little bit of cutting, so maybe some of those little pieces fall out. But you do want to make sure you puncture it in there. and create a little space in there. So now you can take your wire. So if you're using a wire hanger, you want to just straighten it up as much as you can. I'm just using a wire that I happen to already have here. And I'm just going to insert it. And you might have to do a little bit of, you know, moving your this little foam bit around, because the wire might want to come out the sides here. So here it is coming out the front, and then I'm just going to feed it through. Now at first I thought I would have to do 4 of them, but I've already gone ahead and I've compared the length of 3 of these to the Flamingo that is a store-bought Flamingo, and I think 3 of this is fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a length just in case, on both ends, in case I decide that, okay, I need to add the 4th one. And I'm going to cut it fairly long, give it nice length here. Okay, so now that I have this, it can be bent, you know, in shape, you know, the way that I want it. This is going to be coming apart here, so I need to hot glue that. So I'm going to glue the ends together. I think my hot glue is ready. I'm not really sure. Yeah, some of it is ready. Okay, let's go ahead and do this little part. Use some E6000, of course, in there. And then your hot glue. All right, so in order for it not to move while the glue is still wet, now hot glue will dry pretty fast. You can hold it like that. But another way to do that is to get a piece of duct tape. All right, so now we're going to put that on there. I'm trying to do this as smoothly as I can. Okay, so now that I've got that secured, now you could use some masking tape and then maybe you could just pull it off later, but I'm going to actually tape the whole thing with duct tape anyway. I'm going to go ahead and cover the rest of it with duct tape. You don't have to do this. And if you get that little texture on there, that's fine, because, you know, the neck, maybe we want to have a little bit of texture. So I'm just going to kind of hold it kind of at an angle and then just start taping all the way around. Now, if you don't like this, don't do that, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be right back. All right, so now I want to see how I can attach this neck to the body. You know, it's going to be my bird. So I'm going to remove the lid, because I want the neck to kind of come out of it like somewhere in the middle here and then kind of go up. But I don't want to push the foam into it. I just kind of want to push some of the wire. So let me feed this wire a little bit further up, because I don't want that much sticking out at the bottom. I don't want to get that wire through it, so I need to poke a hole in here. I'm going to see my hot glue gun will do that. If not, I'll probably have to get the drill. Okay, it's melting through and it's making a hole. Yes. There we go. I melted a hole into it right there. Like that. And I got this wire in here. I'm going to fold it down. What I want to do here is I want to put some E6000 and I want to put my hot glue. This will get plenty of this glue on there, as well as some of my hot glue. And then just push it like that. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit more hot glue here on the outside just to make sure that it is grabbing. And now I'll let that dry. Little hair right there, remove that. So we'll let that dry. Now that this is dry, at least the glue gun is dry, I'm going to now put some glue in here to hold this wire in here and just bend it inward so I can make sure that I can screw this little cap back on the bottle part of it. Alright, so turn this around so you can see. I'm just going to put some glue in there. I'm going to put plenty of it. Alright, so I've put plenty of glue in there. We're going to let that dry now. Okay, so while that's drying, what you could do, or maybe even before you start building this, is you can take your sheets, your metal sheets, and let's cut off this edge. All right, so I've cut off this edge just so I can have the, you know, the flat part. And what you could do now is you could take a piece of paper and draw out a shape of a feather or like a leaf, something like that. That'll go with the proportion or size of your flamingo. Or you could just draw it right on the metal with a Sharpie. So I'm just doing like a kind of like an eye shape on here, just like that. You could just draw a whole bunch of them out if you're pretty good at drawing everything the same, or once you've done it on paper, use that as your pattern, or cut out your first one out of metal and then just use that as your pattern, like so. All right, so after cutting a whole bunch of these, I took my little crochet stick and I found out this is the easiest way to do it, and that's just to put it down on top and then just kind of pinch right there, and that just gives it that little texture that I was looking for, or that dimension that I was looking for to make it look more like a feather. There we go, super easy. Get someone to help you. There we go. And just keep doing them all like that. And I realized I completely forgot to tell you what I'm going to be using for the legs. Now, I found these yard signs also at the Dollar Tree. I wanted some sticks and they happen to have these, so I'm going to use the plastic stick part of this for the legs. You could also use some wood dowels. All right, so this part is now dry on here, and this is going to be screwed onto the, what is going to be the body. So now I have a neck, and I'm going to attempt to shape it. I don't know if it's going to work because the wire is not that strong. All right, so my wire is not as strong to hold this up the way that I want it, but I think I have an idea, because look what I'm doing here is when I'm pulling it up, it's also pulling up the neck part. So I want it to go like that. Okay, kind of snake around. Obviously the wire that I'm using is not strong enough to really shape the foam, so I'm doing my best. Okay, so I have an idea right here, because I want it to have like a little bit of a rounded breast part right here. I'm going to take some of these bags and I'm going to start kind of filling in. So I don't want this to come off, obviously. Let's add some more glue right there. Kind of build a little bit of a little part there that's made of glue. Okay, this is a way that I can fix my little dilemma. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take more of this tape. And like I said, it's very flimsy. And it just kind of folds up on itself a lot. I'm going to put it on there. Like that. Of course, let that glue in there dry really well before you do this. Okay, so that kind of helps it do that, okay? So I'm just going to make sure that I put enough tape for the neck to kind of stay in that position. And then if I have to glue it some more, I will, like right in there. But you get the idea how that's helping that. Look at the really long neck that it's going to have. I may have to trim it some actually, but I'm okay with the shape. I couldn't get it any more curled. I would have liked more of an S shape, but obviously my wire's not that thick to bend the foam. But if you're using a wire hanger, that is nice and thick, and I think that would work a whole lot better. But there you get the idea. Look what I'm doing. Okay, so I think I'm going to end up trimming it about right here for the little head. Okay, so what I was going to do, you know what, I'm going to do yeah. Let's put some tape on the edge here. Like that. I don't know if this is going to work, you guys. I'm just testing this out. And then I'll put this bag on here. I want to put it like that so that I can create like a little pocket right here where I can stuff. And let's cut out, oh yeah, I'll cut it off. Well, you guys, I'm like, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'll just fold it in. Okay, so I want to tape now this part, and we're not going to worry about it now. It's now stuck to the body, so we can go ahead and tape it. Oh my goodness, it's tape. If you want to hot glue the lid onto the body, go right ahead. Okay, so then, see what I'm doing here? I'm sort of creating a little pocket right here. And then I can take more of these. It's too big, let me see. Putting that in there. Not too much, okay? I just want to give it a little bit of a roundness right here. Okay, that's good. Sometimes you have to go old school and get your mouth on it. And I need a tape to go across over here at the back. Go. Now I want to smooth it over. Kind of have to hold it down like that so it doesn't go all over the place. Like that. See how it's creating a little bit of a breast here? Okay, that's what we want. And I'm just going to tape it down some more, you guys, and I'll be back. Okay, there's one thing that I did notice is that I did want, see where this has like a little shape here? But not everybody's going to find the same container, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I was intending for this little shape to kind of be up here at the top or maybe at the bottom where the legs could go, you know, be put into. But obviously when I screwed the lid back on, my neck was facing another way. So that's okay. So we're not going to worry about that. All right, so now I want to put some legs in there. And I want to put them like in an A shape in there. So I think I'm going to hot glue some holes right into there and then just hot, you know, E6000 and glue it in there and put tape to kind of hold them in, okay? So let's do that. Just hold the tip, the hot tip on there to melt. All right, there, I finally got it in there. Okay, let's do the other one. Perfect. Okay, so now some E6000 and some regular, my hot glue. All right, you guys, I have put all the glue that I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to prop these up a little bit to help them sort of stay in a certain spot. And I'm going to let them dry, and I'll be back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this duct tape, kind of tape around also to attach it to the bottle as well to kind of, you know, stabilize the legs. All right, so now I want to create this like a thigh piece right here. I want to give that part of the bird some shape up on the top here, the thigh area. So I got a piece of foil, and then I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm going to waddle one of them up into a little, kind of like a little ball, but kind of long like this, like a little long rock. Then I'll take the other one, and I do the same, kind of crinkle it to start forming like an oval like that. Like a turtle shell, if you will. I want it to be in like that. So just start shaping it. About the same as the other one. I want that one to go right here. So I'm going to take some tape, tape it across the top right here first. Like that. Put some tape on it like that. Oops. Get that on there. And then make that little pocket. And that little bit that you got, fill that in. and then just shape the thigh muscle, and then you'll tape that down. Okay, so just tape that one down, just like I did over here. All right, so now I'm working on the sides where the wings will be, and I want to give it a little bit of a dimension, so I've done this, and I want to do it on the other side. It's super easy to do. Just grab a plastic bag, and then just kind of crunch inward, like so, to create a little poofy bit. You're going to put it down, and then just tape over it, like I did over here, without squishing it down. You're going to do that. Okay, so then to the back, the tail end, I want to do the same thing that I did, like I did over here in the front. I want to give it a little bit of a butt. So I'm also going to put a bag here, and then I'm going to tape it across, give it some body, a little bit of a shape. I might add a little bit more than just one bag here in the back. All right, so I've taken this little container here, and I've decided to trim off this part right here so that I only had this. Now I cracked it in some little spots here and there. I could cut another one. I have plenty of them, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm actually going to be duct taping over it, so I don't need to do that. So I had said that I was going to trim it a little bit, but now that I think about it, I'm not going to, because that part will go into what is the head, and I think I like the neck being that long. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. What I am going to do is I'm going to melt a little hole in here so I can get this wire to go through that little hole. I don't want to cut it yet because I think I need it to form my beak. A little help with that will be good. Okay, let's see. And let's get that through the hole. And slide it all the way. There, right there. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Just going to do a little skeletal bit here with the remainder of my wire. I leave a little bit of a lip like that because that's what, you know, goes flat on here and then gets taped. So we're going to see if that works. If not, don't worry about it. I think that'll work. Okay, so once I get it taped on there, it'll work really good. So in order to get that from moving around too much, I'm going to take another plastic bag and I'm going to stuff it into the little cup here, like so. Okay, so that keeps this, you know, like centered in there. Okay, and then you can take another bag and we're going to tape it to create a slant of the head shape down into the shape of the neck, or the thickness of the neck. Okay, so I'm going to continue wrapping this with tape, and then I'm going to just make sure that it's all nice and smooth around. It's going to have that texture of tape, but I'm not going to mind it too much because I think it'll look really nice once it's painted and it's out there in the garden. So I'm going to start sticking some feathers on my bird, and I cut these so far, and I want to have some stick out of his tail. So I'm going to start back here, and what you want to do is you want to use your E6000 and then your hot glue, or if you have I think there's Gorilla glue sticks, you want to do that instead, so you don't have to be switching from glue to glue. So just stick down your first feathers. That's why I wanted to create this little bustle too. So some of these feathers are kind of going downward like that. So I'm going to put about 3 of them like that. And then I'm going to start adding them upward like that, all the way up the back here. And then I'll worry about the wing part, but I'll add some down here as well, just to kind of go over the thighs a little bit. You don't have to worry about the belly. Like I said, smooth out the tape as much as you can in the front and the breast part, so you don't have to add any there. But if you want to, you can cover that area up as well. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Start adding some of these feathers here. And this is going to take a while to do also. Alright, so what I was doing is when I put down a little feather is I just kind of bend the little tip a little bit just to flatten it up so it gets flat on there as it's glued down. But this is what I have so far. All right, so I'm going to continue doing this, and I think I'm going to start working off to the side over here. Alright, so as you saw, I finished covering up the top as back, and then I've gone ahead and I worked on one of the wings, and what I did is I cut some long ones like this and then some short ones. So I'll turn it around. There we go. Right on here in the hump. Put my glue and then my hot glue gun. Put them in there kind of quite a bit over, just to make sure they're touching the glue like that. The wings are kind of closed, so they're kind of coming down like that. Unless you want to make your wings going upward, then make some really long ones to come out that way first. Okay, so I'm getting some of the P6000 that's on there. And then this glue, and then I just overlap the feather so that it does, you know, you don't see between them. And then I'll take these smaller ones and I'll do the same and just kind of build my way like that. Alright, so as you can see, I have like a very raw edge here of the, you know, the feathers here, and then if you look under the wing here, you can see a little bit, and obviously here on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some more. I have very little of this left, a couple of pieces, so I'm going to cut some smaller little, I keep wanting to say leaves, but feathers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the obvious first right here, cover the sides here, finish up on the top here so I can fill in this little gap here as well, and then over here, and then I'll just put some underneath the wing here. I don't know if you can see that right here. Okay, I don't need to put any on the chest or anywhere else. So that is the only places that I feel like I want some feathers. Now if you want to cut more than what I've done and fill it up even more, then you're going to need to get yourself quite a few of these trays. Again, I had 6 of them, and this is what I'm able to do. I do wish I had another 2. Alright everyone, I finished putting all of my little metal feathers on my bird. I think it looks really pretty, you guys. I'm not too sure about the, you know, the taping over here. Once I paint it, it might not look all that great, but I think it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be outside, so the tape will actually be a good, you know, weather. Well, at least I hope, because it is Dollar Tree tape. So we'll find out as time goes by how it holds up. Maybe I'll put it under the patio in the front. We'll see how it turns out. But I've got my paint ready. I also have my other bird that I took off those little plastic gems from. These right here, I took those all off. I need to take the legs so I don't spray them, but I've already sprayed the beak, and I'm going to take these outside, spray paint them, let them dry. I don't know if I need another coat or I'll need to go buy some more paint. I may have to finish this video tomorrow. I don't know, because I'm also debating whether I want to go get more of the tin sheets and add even more feathers. Is that crazy? Yeah, I think that's crazy. Let me just take it outside, paint it, and we'll be back. Alright everyone, before I show you my finished product, and I still have it outside, it is still drying. I've given it a couple of coats of the paint, and I do need to paint the little beak. I want to paint it yellow, and then the tip black, and then two black dots for the eyes. Simple as can be with just plain craft paint. You could use some paint that's obviously good for outdoors, or maybe just seal the whole thing afterwards. I do want to point out a couple of things before I show you the finished product. Now, I'm very happy with my project. I think it came out pretty good. I think I had a really good idea of how to put this all together. I just wish that I had thought of my materials a little bit better. The duct tape that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, I really don't feel it is adequate. I really feel you need a better quality duct tape. I think that if I had something a little bit thicker, it would have wrapped my form a little bit better. It would be coming apart as I have seen it doing now. Also, it would also be a little bit smoother to hide a lot of the crinkles and such, and I would have had a better or smoother texture to my project. The other thing is that the little sticks that I purchased, the signs that I use, little plastic sticks for the legs, are not strong enough for the structure that I have built. It's a little heavy, so when I do hold it, they do want to bend a little bit. Once I had them outside and I was twisting it around, you know, flipping it over, spray painting it, they would bend on me. So I think it would be best to use wooden dowels, or if you have like little bamboo sticks, which I happen to have. I have some bamboo sticks that I purchased for my plants outdoors, and I have a ton of them still left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the legs on my Flamingo eventually, or maybe just wire the legs that I have right now onto the bamboo, because I plan on putting this where maybe some plants are going to be around, and some potted plants, and the legs are probably not even going to show anyway. So like I said, I wasn't worried about painting the legs too much, the little green sticks, because I thought they were going to be hiding. But for you, just so that you know that those little sticks, those signs are just not strong enough to hold, because it's holding not only the weight of the little canister, the plastic, but then all that foil and tape, and then the little feathers that I cut out of the tin foil. That's an extra weight. It's not very heavy, but for those sticks it can be, and I feel like, you know, like right now outdoors here where I'm at, it's very windy. But anyway, the wind, I think, would possibly make it topple over, the legs would bend, and it would just be a mess. So I wanted to point that out. I don't know if there's anything else that I feel I wanted to point out other than those are two important things. The duct tape was from Dollar Tree. It's not so good. It does want to come apart once I have put spray paint on it. It's not taking the paint too well. Also, the sticks. That was it, everyone. Other than that, I really do love my project. So here we go. Let me show you what I've done. All right, everyone. So here is my store-bought Flamingo. And as you can see, I've painted the body, the head, all pink. Put the gems back in there. All I had to do was just touch up the eye, little eye, because I had painted over that section. The rest of this I had taped over it, so I don't have to redo the beak. And of course I taped over the legs and left them the tan color that it has, and it looks really pretty. I love it. My husband didn't even know I had purchased this, and he saw it and he thought I had actually made this one. Well, anyway, we'll put her aside, because now I want to show you what I have made, and I wanted to say I'm really happy with it, and I hope that you will like it too. So here she is, and I've already told you the problems and the fixes. And it was a tape, so get yourself a better quality duct tape to do this. Get yourself some stronger sticks here for the legs. I did mention is that use a hanger, you know, for the wire to do the neck, to reshape it. She was doing really good, but I think the spray paint on here kind of loosened things a little bit, because the spray paint will eat into foam, and because the tape that I put on there, I don't think it's good enough. I think it permeated, and then it kind of softened it up a little bit. But actually, I'm very happy with it. I'm really happy with this finish here, which my husband saw and he was really impressed with that. It looks really pretty on the grass. I put her out there on the grass, and she looks really pretty. Look at her face, you guys. I decided to put a little googly eye on each side. I thought they looked really pretty instead of me painting them on. I did paint the beak, and I'm very happy with it. So there we go. Still a little wet, so I'm just going to hold it like that. All right, everyone. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. So here we go. From the store and homemade. I'm sure everybody used to better wire this. All right. I'm not even going to go through that again. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. So hit that red button down below, and then hit the notification bell so that you get notified of when I put up my videos, and I try to do 2 videos per week. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, Trisha's Creations. And I think I said leave a nice comment down below. Let me know what you think. What would you go for? We're just going to go buy one that's already store-bought and just take care of your need for a Flamingo. Do you have one already? I would love to know. And if you do have pictures, share them on our Facebook. Also, what do you think? Are you going to try this? I think you should. Use a better judgment of supplies, the quality of supplies than what I did. And y'all are very crafty, you're very creative, and if you're not, well, you're learning something new. All right, there we go, everyone. Thank you again for watching my videos, and I really appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and as always, enjoy.